Okay, we're going to start off working on problem number 21. What problem number 21 says is use substitution to solve this system. Oops, I wrote it down wrong. I apologize. So it's 5x plus y is equal to negative 3, and y is equal to x plus 3. Substitution merely means that you take what you know about a variable and plug it into the other equation. So let's look at this right here. We know that, I'll have to work on my highlighting ability. We know that y is equal to x plus 3. So what I can go up to the previous equation is, and then I can write 5x plus, so I'm going to plug in what I know for y. So I'm going to say x plus 3 is equal to negative 3. Now there was really no reason for the parentheses. I just wanted to specifically show you that I am plugging in x plus 3 for the y. Alright? So then I would say 5x plus x plus 3 is equal to negative 3. So you get 6x plus 3 is equal to negative 3. So you can subtract 3 from both sides. And you can say 6x is equal to negative 6. So then you divide by 6. And you can say x is equal to a negative 1. Now, it wants me to solve, so that means I don't just need an x, I also need a y. So I'm going to come back up to my second original equation and say y is equal to x plus 3. I'm going to say y is equal to negative 1 plus 3. But what is negative 1 plus 3? Well, that's just a 2. So my answer is the point negative 1 comma 2. What that means is that this is the point where these two lines cross. They cross at negative 1 comma 2, and that's how you solve problem 21. Let's go to problem 22, elimination. So let's first write down our situation. 3x minus 6y is equal to negative 24. 3x plus 6y is equal to positive 24. Elimination merely means where you need to get, you need to get one of the top equations, one of the variables from the top to look like one of the variables on the bottom. Well, this problem is actually very generous, and they've made it very, very easy for us. We notice that the top equation is 3x, the bottom equation is 3x, so I can just subtract the two. So 3x minus 3x is 0. Negative 6 minus 6 becomes negative 12y is equal to negative 24 minus 24 is equal to negative 48. So this could then say negative 12y is equal to negative 48. Divide both sides by negative 12. You can get y is equal to a positive 4. But we're not done because we want the point. So if we know y is 4, I'm going to go with my first equation. And I'm going to say 3x minus 6 times 4 is equal to negative 24. I'm now going to say 3x minus 24 is equal to negative 24. I am going to add 24 to both sides in order to get x by itself. And I might start noticing something fairly quickly that is going to make this problem even simple. Negative 24 plus 24 is 0. Negative 24 plus 24 is also 0. So I could say 3x, I'm going to go over here to the right side, 3x is equal to 0. So then by default, x must equal 0. So the point where my lines cross is 0, comma 4. So that's the point where my two lines cross. And that's how you solve problem number 22. So let's go on to problem number 23. Problem number 23 says, graph the system of inequalities. Y is less than negative 3x plus 2, and y is greater than or equal to 4x minus 1. So I'm going to look at my first equation. I'm going to think, how do I graph that? Well, what y'all are going to have to do is bear with me as I freehand graph. Looking at the first equation, I look at this plus 2 part. This plus 2 tells me to go up 2. Still at the first equation, this negative 3 is my slope, so I know that I go down 3 and to the right 1, 1, 2, 3, right 1, and I can do that again if I so desire. Again, I apologize to y'all to put up my freehand. You can easily tell that I did not graph this very well, that my ability at freehand graphing is terrible, and maybe in later videos I'll be smarter and I will put in a graph. Now, you'll notice that this first equation is y is less than. The less than tells me it should be a dotted line due to the fact that it's not less than or equal to. If it had been less than or equal to, it would have been a solid line. But since it was not, it is less than, it is a dotted line. It is a dotted line. All right, so now let's graph my second equation. My second equation is down 1, so it's at -1, and then it has a slope of 4, so I go up 4, 1, 2, 3, make a new line, 4, go right 1. And I could also go down 4 to the left 1 if I so desired. 1, 2, 3, 4, left 1. So now, due to the fact this is greater than or equal to, this is going to be a solid line. So I make this a solid line. Now, what's asked is, what it has asked is where is the, now we need to shade, I apologize. Now we need to shade, so we look at this first dotted line, it says y is less than. So where is y getting smaller than this first dotted line? It's getting smaller going down, all right? It's getting smaller going down, so it'd be somewhere down here. You'll notice I'm not actually highlighting it in yet, and there's a reason for that. But it's going down somewhere in this general direction, okay? Then this other one says that y is getting greater than that equation. So where's y getting greater than? Well, it would be somewhere along this line, right? So then you gotta ask yourself, where are they both happening? They're both happening on this side, right all in here. So it's the shaded area would be right in here. That means that all my possible solutions exist inside of this shaded area. All right? So let's go on to number 24. Number 24. Number 24 says, use matrices to solve the following system. So let's write down the following system. 3x minus 2y plus z is equal to 9. X minus y plus 4z is equal to 10. 2x plus 3y minus z is equal to 53. Now, matrices are very, very simple. What we're going to do is first you have to go into your calculator and you have to first click, hold on, give me a second so I can find it. You click second, and then you're going to click x to the -1. Right above the -1 is matrix in blue. You scroll over to edit, and you're going to edit A. Edit A. All right, so now we have a matrix, and we want it to be a 3 by 3 starting off. Okay, so you go over to edit A, and you click on A, and you're going to make it a 3 by 4 matrix. 3 by 4. You then need to enter the numbers. So I'm going to say enter numbers. All right. So you enter the numbers, and then you click second mode. So our fifth thing we're going to do is click second mode. This should bring us back to the very beginning screen. So then you're going to go back into the matrix again. So you click second x to the -1 again, and you go over this time to math. You go over to math and then scroll down to RREF. So now you're going to click RREF, and it should take you back to the beginning screen again, except now you should have RREF parentheses. You click second matrix one last time, and you're going to hit enter on A. So now what you should have, I'm going to go ahead and write this as 10, you should have RREF A. And there might be a little block inside there. So then you hit enter, and it should give you this following matrix. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 10, 12, and 3. So now our final thing is just to simply read our matrix. So I wrote 12 up here. So the final thing is that x is equal to 10, y is equal to 12, and z would be equal to 3. So those would be our answers for number 24. Now let's go on to number 25. And that'll be the last one for this video. Number 25. Number 25 says, use the graph of f of x is equal to x squared as a guide. So it might be helpful to remember that this is a parabola. My poorly drawn graph again. It's a basic parabola that looks like this. Describe the transformations and then graph the function g of x is equal to x minus 7 squared plus 2. So let's describe the transformation. So I'm going to write transformations. The plus 2, this plus 2 part right here, what that means is that I'm starting up 2. All right? This minus 7 right here, that means I'm starting to the right 7. So you could say that that's my vertex. So you could say that the vertex is 7, 2. So now you're going to watch me graph horribly one last time for this video. But we draw our graph. We're going to count over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go up 2, 1, 2. We're going to plot that right there. And then for this situation, I'll allow you to just kind of give me a bad freehand drawing. Okay? On the test, there will be multiple choice, or I'll allow a bad freehand drawing again. But that is how you would do number 25.